Allan Saint-Maximin? Maximin? Maxi? Max?
He goes by
Something-
Maxi or
Something
ASM.
like that.
How about you say Maxi? You stick with Maxi.
ASM. Isn't that ASM? No, I'm thinking of ASM.
I want you to try to pronounce it in a French way because it feels like it should be pronounced Frenchly. Like
that's a
Saint-Maximin or something like that, you know, like you know, they don't
Allan
like
Saint-Maximin. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm going Italian now. I don't
That
know.
might be Italian.
Well, we just we took a little bit of a break, fellas.
But we're so back. We're so back.
I'm right
Haven't
back
missed
on the
a beat.
saddle.
You haven't
go.
missed a beat.
Oh man.
Man, so what's been going on? I think we had this little thing called the World Cup, as you can probably tell if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify. We are the Mint City Soccer Show. I'm one of your hosts, David Gussler, just in case we forget how to do intros again. I'm here with my co-host, Matt Swift. Matt, welcome. How are you?
Good. It's good to be back with you guys.
Yeah. And producer extraordinaire and co-host extraordinaire, sound engineer, walking me through my microphone gains before the episode, Corey Insco. Corey, welcome.
Sound engineer feels like promotion that I got in the summer break, so I'll take that. I will say that we are all wearing USA jerseys, but I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking back.
Yeah.
I'm looking ahead to next summer. So let's go.
Wearing the U.S. Women's National Team kit.
Ready to add another star to it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the shoulder pads kit. It's good. 1980s shoulder pad or 90s shoulder pads. Well,
Yeah,
fellas,
it's definitely a design flaw for these
yeah.
kids, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not great. I'm sitting here. I remember I was at Salud for the first game wearing this, and I'm hunched over watching the game, and I just peek over, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like a mountain right here. It's like sticking way up. So, well, fellas, it's been a while. Hopefully, we still have a listener base here listening. I'm sure we do. If we're not just doing this for ourselves, but World Cup. You guys want to dig into that first? You want to talk about Charlotte first? What do you guys want to do?
Maybe we should let's do Charlotte FC first, and then we'll
It's exciting.
tear off the Band-Aid of USA.
Well, let's talk about the exciting news. Is David gets to practice pronouncing a new player's name incorrectly a lot. Allan Saint-Maximin is joining Charlotte FC. I said that like Ron Burgundy with a question mark at the end. But he is joining the roster officially announced today, or if you're listening to this episode tomorrow, it was announced yesterday. Swift, can you tell the listeners a little bit about this player? And I guess we could talk about the departures after that, but talk to us about Maxi.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the signing. It's a Zaha, I guess, replacement. I think there was something that came out today to the extent of Zaha and Zoran were trying to negotiate a deal, and Zoran, in his own words, was pretty much saying, "Hey, we tried 2 different times, it just didn't work," and those things happen. So we moved on from him, and we have a new winger who I believe is maybe faster and more physical, which I'm really excited about because that's kind of how our league is. So I'm interested to see how he comes in, the mental aspect, because physically, like I said, he's strong, he's fast, but as we all know, players, coaches, front office staff, they come into this league and they're kind of shocked by the physicality of the league. We have some players that come in and think that they are just going to boss people around and, play great and everything like that. And it's a big shock to them. So I'm really interested in the mentality that he has. And I'm also very curious of how the refs are going to treat him too. But I'm very excited. I think what we gain is that quickness, that toughness, that physicality. Maybe what we lose and what is yet to be seen is, can he get that 89th minute winner when we have no business winning a game? We've had 0 shots on goal. We're not supposed to be winning, and someone like Zaha can pull something out of thin air. Can our new guy do this? But I am really excited to see what he could do, and kind of curious of what number he's going to wear.
I think it came out he was going to wear 10, didn't it? I think I saw this somewhere that he was going to wear the same number Zaha did.
Oh,
because
okay.
Yeah, I'll have to double check this. Maybe
Okay.
After I finish kind of what I was going to say, I'll double check this and come back and tell you for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this. I wasn't, Zaha had his ups and downs and people who loved him, people who hated him, but I was sad to see Zaha go, but I was excited and impressed to see the front office pull this off when we knew we were losing Zaha, to get someone like this in to replace him. Someone who's, a similar type player, maybe there are definitely some differences here or there, but, similar type player, a top level player, a guy who's played in the Premier League, like you said, a guy who has supposedly had offers to continue playing in France and in England, and, even going to Saudi Arabia. He's not kind of toward the end of his career guy. He's 29 years old, I believe. So you're getting a guy who's in his prime, who wanted to come play here above some other options. And so when you lose a huge name like Zaha, it's like, how do you replace that? And I think they've taken the right swing to get the right guy in here. I mean, we'll see how it works in the field. I mean, like you said, we'll see what actually happens when he's out there on the field. But I like kind of his attitude about it so far. I like the way he's talking about it. I think, some of his quotes that I've seen, he really wants to come here and kind of put his name on this team and be a part of it. I think the quote that I saw the team post, be a part of the legacy of the club. So I'm excited to see it. I hope he doesn't come in thinking MLS is going to be easy, like you kind of what you alluded to, Matt. It's there's going to be some challenges there, but I'm excited about having him come in, and I think it's a huge get somebody to replace that Zaha hole that you're going to have on that side over there.
The Zaha hole. I like that reference here. So I'm gonna read a quote while you look up the number thing here, Corey. So this is from Charlotte FC, a general manager. He's not just sporting director now, but he's general manager, Zoran Krneta. So Maxi is an elite attacking talent who has consistently performed at the highest levels of our sport, including in the Premier League. We're delighted to bring a player of his quality to Charlotte while he is in the prime of his career. So look at that, Corey. It's like he read Zoran's mind. He says, his creativity, speed, technical ability, and flair make him immediately one of the most exciting players in Major League Soccer. Adding a player with his pedigree, experience, and winning mentality will bolster our attacking options and strengthen our team overall. We're excited to welcome he and his family to Charlotte. And it was interesting because I was looking here, and you're talking about one, he's gonna have big shoes to fill with Zaha. I don't think hopefully no one's he's going to come in and be a Zaha. I think who knows what he can come in and do. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much, because it could be hopefully not a Liel Abada situation, or it could be like a Pep Biel situation, right? Coming in and really exceeding expectations. But one of the things that stood out to me was that over his years, it talks about here, he played 4 seasons with Newcastle United, and he scored 13 goals and 21 assists in 124 appearances with Newcastle in the Premier League. So it seems like he's more of a creator, assists a little bit, than that crazy goal scorer potentially Swift. I mean, to me, I think that's a little bit more exciting. I mean, well, I don't want to say exciting, but I feel like that's what we kind of need out of our wingers, because it sometimes was hot and cold. It was either going to get a goal out of, say, Vargas or Abada or Zaha or whoever, or nothing for stretches on end. I feel like we needed some creation there on the wings outside of just Pep Biel trying to force something, through the middle there.
For sure. I think that's going to be something that we really need to look out for, because he may not be able to score you the goal. So how is he going to partner with Tokolmadi? How is he going to partner with Pep Biel? Can he do the same thing as Zaha did, pull defenders from the middle? But to your point, he is someone that's going to be able to also create chances. We have that with Vargas some. We had that with Zaha. So it's a good continuation of having someone that can take folks on and make something happen. the goal contribution thing, that's something that's we really need to look out for. You know, I don't know how many goals he's going to get, but can he set those up, and can we get Toklamati's numbers up? So that's something that I'm going to keep an eye out on. And Corey, you touched on something too. I want to mention real quick. Big kudos to the front office, because some of the criticism in the past is, you know, you always hear this every time, even half the time it's not true. It's like, oh, we wait till the last minute to sign someone. Oh, you know, whatever the case is. We had this guy who is a big name already, like in the morning when the window opens, just go ahead and announce it. And they could have announced it sooner, but, you know, if you got the World Cup stuff and probably didn't want to, you know, post it then. But so big tip of the cap to Zoran, the front office, because that's very difficult to, and now that we kind of know a little more information, you know, we were trying to make a deal with Zaha. It didn't seem to work. And so instead of like dragging this out and losing a player, they basically had to make a decision pretty quickly. Like, okay, we tried twice. This is not going to work. We're now moving on from you. And that's a tough decision, especially with someone of Zaha's caliber. But to be able to get someone who's younger and could even be even more beneficial to this team is a big kudos. We'll see how the rest of the summer plays out. Zoran did say we might see a new face, but we'll see how that all shakes out. But I'm very excited for the signing, and big kudos to the front office for pulling that off.
Yeah, go ahead, Corey. Go ahead.
I was just going to close the loop on the thing. So I read it was Carol Walton's piece in the Charlotte Ledger today. She said that he'll wear the number 10 jersey. So that's where I had seen it before. So
yeah, and he's worn that number before.
Yeah.
I was kind of curious to see if he was going to take that on here, and
It was an interesting article because it was kind of comparing, fair or not, it was comparing Maxi and Zaha a lot of like, and I think even some of the questions he got that he answered were kind of about that. Like, this is who you're replacing. Y'all are very similar players in certain ways, you know, and kind of where some of the differences are. And so there's some interesting pieces he said in there, some quotes he had about kind of what makes them different. I mean, I think he even talked a little bit about some of the situations where Zaha would get frustrated and draw some yellow cards.
Sure.
And he was basically like,
wait,
nah.
Zaha does that? Hold on a second. Wait, what?
So he had some, this, I can't remember exactly what the quote was, but something about how he doesn't get frustrated like that. He knows you're going to do it, and he'll just kind of, you know, relax and use that to his advantage where he needs to. So, and anyway, it was just kind of interesting thing to look at, kind of there's similarities because they're going to, you know, come to the same position, wear the same number, both played in Premier League, both kind of highly touted, but just the age difference and maybe the mentality difference. There's some differences there about how they're coming into it.
They both played in Turkey. They both played in Turkey, and they both played in France. Not in Premier League. So there's definitely a very similar journey there for both players. But it's interesting to see the comparison there for it. Zaha, I mean, I've been kind of, I don't want to say stalking, but following on socials. He hasn't signed with anybody, has he? Or announced?
Not to my knowledge.
Interesting. I mean, are you? I know it's been a while since we've had this show, but are you kind of surprised that didn't work out, or like we couldn't come to a deal?
I think when I saw Zoran's quote, which might have been in the same article today at some point, or I saw it in another thing about the re-signing, which is basically what Matt touched on. It's like we tried to sign him twice. And I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but Zoran was basically like what he wanted for being a 34-year-old player at his point in his career didn't make sense financially for us. And I don't read that as a dig. I read that as like, look, like I understand where Zaha's coming from. He's trying to like set himself up for his, you know, retirement and his career after soccer. Like he needed a contract to kind of feel like he could set himself up the right way. So I get what he was looking for. But I think it's very smart of the front office and Zoran to say, like, look, that's not a smart use of our money. Like, we're going to put a lot of money or you're wanting more years or whatever the thing that Zaha's wanting is, that's not going to pay off for us. Like, we're going to end up losing out on that deal. Even if it's good in the short term, it's not good in the long term. And so I think, especially if he knows he's like, I can get a, you know, in my mind, similar caliber player, you know, that's a little bit younger and can lock him in for the next 3 years, like I'm not willing to throw all my chips in for Zaha here because I have other options, and I think that's a big part of that.
You hit the nail on the head there, Corey. It's short term. It would have been great. Okay, we got Zaha in, but Zaha's probably not going to be looking for a year or two contract. It's probably 3, 4, lots of money. Zaha is one of those people too that he takes care of his whole entire family, right? So he's very generous that way, and that's a big responsibility. So he was looking for a big payday, and I don't blame him. But that's why, again, you got to tip your hat to this front office, because I know they took a lot of crap for not signing Zaha, and they're like, just give him the money, like, as if that's smart business. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you got to bite the bullet and make tough decisions. That's why they get paid what they do. Hopefully this works out with the player. But as a business move, I think it's a really good one. Especially you're getting a younger player. I think someone who's faster, more physical. Again, like I mentioned at the very beginning, can he give you that late game winner? Can he pull some magic out that maybe Zaha did? That's the only thing we might be losing. Wait to be seen though. So, but yeah, really, really cool signing. Super pumped.
I'm gonna say this sarcastically, but like, did we really get that with Zaha this year though? Because like even Zoran kind of shared, it was like, remember earlier in the season, kind of called out Wilf, like, yeah, I need you to produce some goals there, buddy. You're our DP that needs to do that. So like, and Wilf has moments where he would just turn it on and score goals or anything like that. But I just was, I don't know if we got that consistently from Wilf this year, anyways. To be honest.
I mean, that could be part of it. That's something that I'm sure that they looked at: age, what you're producing, the mentality, the yellow cards. After a while, that grinds everybody's gears. Like you can get some leeway, and we, at least I kind of knew what we're getting into when we got him. But that's why, again, I'm very interested to see what Maxi can do and how he's going to approach MLS. The referees can be hot mess.
Top class?
Yeah. They can be top class. So what's that going to be like? What's that going to be like when he's getting kicked and fouled? Can he contain himself? Is he going to take this? Yeah, I'm not saying that he wouldn't take it seriously, but like people are always just so shocked at how physical this league is. So I'm hoping that he's ready.
So are you surprised that there's not? I mean, I know there's been some rumors or like leaks a little bit, but are you surprised that there's been no announcement with Liel Abada yet? Because we're looking at like 8 days before our next game against Atlanta United, which is Glizzy night. We're going to talk about that. Sure. But are you surprised that there's been nothing solidified yet with the Liel Abada saga?
Yeah, the window just opened, and I'm really hoping a deal is there. But you have to have somebody that wants him. So that might be the issue. I'm hoping a deal can get made so we can move on from him. I've talked about this a lot. As a team, we've been really good about moving on from players that don't work out. This one is starting to linger a little too much for me. So I'd like to see something get done there. There's been rumors about Vargas. So this could be a drastically different looking team at the end of the summer. We'll see what all can get done here. And again, Zoran said that we might see another face. So I wonder what the replacement is. Is that for Vargas? Hopefully it's for Abada, but people want Vargas. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was sitting here scrolling trying to find it. But it was rumored like during the World Cup, like Liel was spotted in Glasgow, just to kind of like maybe drum up some interest. Maybe him and his agent doing some behind the scenes conversations there a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I hope this does not linger anymore or longer than it needs to be. But on that same note, you mentioned Vargas. So can you share some of the rumors or potentials that has been shared a little bit? I know Top End put something out that he was linked to another team potentially, but not sure how much we can share or know.
Yeah, no, everything's speculative right now, but I mean, there's no secret that teams have been after Vargas for a while. I think you've seen real improvement from him, especially from shot wise, in that quality. It's just a matter of time before teams come calling for him. And if you can get a really good price for him, you could take that money and go get another DP winger, or go get a winger and then solidify another position. But yeah, it would not shock me if Vargas leaves this summer. Selfishly, I'd like to keep him throughout the rest of the season. Maybe that could be the deal. I don't know. Maybe it's a loan situation, loan to buy, rent to own, whatever you want to call it. So
rent to own. Wow.
Rent to own.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a new MLS tag.
I'm surprised
RTO.
MLS has it, because
Yeah,
we
I
make
know.
everything so Americanized.
Yeah, I know.
Rent to own.
Put this player on leeway.
Yeah.
Layaway.
Did you say leeway? Put him
I
on
did. Jesus
leeway.
Christ.
We
Man,
are back,
I'm
baby.
I'm on top form right now, man.
I love it.
So
I love it.
I guess like that. Two things. So one, do you think we see Maxi next week against Atlanta, or is that too soon?
Yeah, I will say I was under the impression that the player had to be signed, and the only way to do that is, the window opens, you sign him, whatever. But that's not the case. He is registered to play on today, but the visa stuff has already started being worked on. So I thought it was the other way around, but I don't know if Atlanta is going to be doable. I think you'll probably see him against Red Bull. There's a possibility for Atlanta, but I think more likely you'll see him against Red Bull.
I just realized how silly it is too. I'm sure we'll talk about this with All-Star. We have literally one game after the World Cup for MLS, and it goes on MLS All-Star break, and then we come back to another game. Is that what do we do? Anyways,
Look, we got to get these games in. We got a lot of games to cram in before October, man.
Anyways, that's a different conversation. So I guess my fear is that if Vargas is potentially sold or is in the progress of being sold, they're not going to probably play him. And then you have Zaha now gone, and then Maxi's not starting, or potentially not starting. Who do you start in the wings? Do you start Liel?
I'll tell you. All of you fans out there who tweet this nonstop, you might get your freaking wish. You might get a Loco and Berchimas, and you can shut up about it. Maybe that's what you get.
Unless they score 3 goals, and then all of a sudden it's going to erupt even more.
You might get your wish, folks. I don't know. It would be nice to get some minutes for both of those guys I mentioned.
Yeah.
I say that kind of funny because literally tweeting nonstop, why aren't we playing this guy? They're behind Vargas and a DP and then another DP. But hey, we might be in a position where they get some playing time. And I think it's, the Vargas thing would be interesting because looks like Abada might, who knows? So he'll be available. Vargas is the tricky one. We'll see. We'll have a very good understanding if Vargas plays against Atlanta.
That's true.
Might see something there. I would say the Atlanta Red Bull game.
I'm just going to say I'm going to be incredibly sad if Vargas goes. Good for him, and if the team gets a good deal on him, makes sense. I totally understand it, but he just since he's been with us has been one of my favorite players, and it's been so fun to watch him get. Yeah, the bobblehead is also one of the best bobbleheads, but it's been just so fun watching.
Pinch the thing, Swift. You got to pinch it to make him twirl.
Pinch
Wait,
it.
is that how it works? Hold on.
I thought no. I don't know. I don't own it, so I don't know.
What are you talking about? I don't own it, but I'm gonna tell. Oh my god.
What is happening? Anyway,
it's like the toys where you squeeze the thing and it makes the little guy spin.
I don't think it works that way. I think you just literally flip it.
I don't think that's how that works.
No.
Oh boy.
Anyway, I'll be sad to see Vargas go. He's one of those that I've enjoyed watching him come up, and we'll see. Again, if we can get good value for him and it makes sense for everybody, get it, go for it. But yeah, I knew it was a matter of time. But when I started seeing those rumors, I got a little sad if he's not going to play.
Does anybody remember how much we got Zaha for? Was it
Zaha?
like one? Yeah. Do you remember? Does anybody remember?
He was on loan.
Yeah, but do you remember what we were paying?
No,
What that
I
was?
don't.
Okay. I was just kind of curious if anybody.
I do like. Are you talking about his like roster charge? It
Like
was like
his
2
salary.
million. It was like
That's-
2.5 million. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have an idea
Yeah.
of what ASM is going to make or is making.
Is it 2 million? Not even
It
close. Okay.
It is more.
Mm.
So what did that tell you about Zaha wanted to make? Holy cow. Like that's yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop.
I
So-
think I know what it is. I'm not gonna say it. I'll let it come out naturally and see if I'm right.
Well,
or
I
not,
think
but-
that's still okay in a way because Zaha was technically making more. He was on loan. He was getting partially paid from his former club at the same time as us. So, but I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, it's not like a Latte Lath situation where he's getting like $20 million, something like that. Something crazy.
It's not that.
Okay, good. Because then the expectations are going to be way elevated if it's something like that. But,
Now that might be one of the dumbest signings I've
yeah,
seen.
it's so bad. It's okay.
Yeah,
Can it be better to a better team? It's fine.
that's right.
Do you think Charlotte makes any other moves? I know. I think the glaring hole is the wingers, right? I think especially if Vargas is gone, if Abada goes, Zaha being gone, obviously Maxi coming in is going to fill a void potentially. Wingers aside, do you think Charlotte makes any other moves, or would you want Charlotte to make any other moves? Say midfield, striker, center back. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you got to get the winger situation under control. If you're going to lose Vargas, you can't. I don't think we can rely on Abada the rest of the season. If that's the case, if Vargas leaves this summer, so I'd like to see somebody else come in. Other than that, other positions, yeah, they're the center mid, but you got Luca who just signed. Like, do we already want to get rid of him? Like, it's just, I don't know. Another thing to look out for too, guys, is Tim Ream. What is he going to look like center back wise? Who's going to play against Atlanta? You know, Ream just came off the World Cup, and then he's going to be in the All-Star game. What is that going to look like for Atlanta and Red Bull?
He's on the retirement tour. It's like,
Well,
when a rock band goes on retirement for the next 12 months, I'm doing their farewells and goodbyes.
yeah. So we'll see. So center back, I'm kind of looking at center mid, but yeah, I think you've got to figure out the other wing.
Well,
But again, you got a Loco. You have Perchimas who could. That's what people have been wanting.
I almost would say like maybe you do something for CDM because like and not to jump too far ahead here, but like think about how different this roster is going to be 2 months ago compared to what it's going to be in the next 6 months. Like you've got Ashley Westwood that's going to be most likely gone or retired, right? You've got I don't want to speak for Ashley, but like potentially you got Tim Ream most likely retiring or gone at this point. Then you got Wilfred Zaha now gone, Vargas potentially gone, Abada potentially gone. So like both starting wingers could be different. Your CDM could be different. Your CB could be different. There's some moves there that we need to kind of figure out. I don't know if Kessler's the answer for Ream because I don't even think he's played a minute for us.
I guarantee he gets hurt at some point.
So I mean,
I'm still very bitter about that.
I was going to say y'all brought it up again when you're talking about salaries. I pulled up the 10 highest paid players for Charlotte FC this season. It just made me mad all over again because Kessler's also
Luca
on that
and
list.
Kessler, yeah. Luca and Kessler,
Luca, Kessler are on that list, and it just makes me mad all over again. So good times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. So maybe it's not something you solve in this window. Maybe it's something you solve in the off season, but I don't know.
Yeah. Westwood's contract is done at the end of the season. He has an option for 2027, but is he going to play the sprint season? I think Westwood really likes it here. I think he's ready to play some golf and probably focus on that and his family. And let me say this real quick. Let me go on a tangent. I think it's really, really awesome that someone like Ashley Westwood has moved here and has enjoyed it so much that they want to stay. Footballers move all over all the time, but I think he's really found a really great spot in the Carolinas here, specifically Charlotte. It's a good golfing city. But I think that's really, really awesome. And I think those are the types of things. And I think I saw where Maxi kind of mentioned family in some of his stuff that he was saying. And I think that's how we're going to have to build our team. You know, we're not LA, we're not Miami, New York. I think we have to build our team through word of mouth and other players advocating for family and great atmosphere. We have great fans, great traditions already, and are already in just our 5th year. So I think that's how we're really going to build things. So it's really cool. I just want to say that really quickly, that probably Ashley, this might be his last season, but he's going to stick around the area. I think that's awesome.
He's going to be our Clinton Dempsey, right? Like the liaison, the face, even off the field for a little bit of time. But yeah, so even if you look at Maxi, right, and I think one of the quotes came up from it being released today was that, again, going back to the family conversation, everything like that, but even players like Ashley and coaches like Dean, we can't underestimate what they do for players and bringing in. Like, I'll pull this quote. It says it was the best chats I've had, or the best chats I had was with Dean Smith. This was one of the best conversations I had in a long time. He said it was the best he's had since talking with Steve Bruce at Newcastle. So, like, even Maxi's, like, I know we've had up and down, hot and cold moments this season with Dean, but, like, to me, we can't underestimate that kind of pull of a former Premier League coach. You've got players that are vested into him. You've got players who have been in the Premier League, like Ashley Westwood, Tim Ream, Harry Toffolo. Like, they've got some pedigree here, and I think that also helps translate and get people excited to actually come to Charlotte. Is it going to be I don't know, like the LAs and the NYCFC type players and big name and big cities and messy pulls? But no, but I'm okay with a guy like Maxi coming in. I think that's a good pull for a team like us.
You know, you are seeing bigger name players going to markets that you're kind of like, whoa, they're going there. You know, you got Lewandowski going to Chicago. You had Griezmann going to Orlando. Mueller going to Vancouver. So I think it's starting to shake up a little bit. It's not just, hey, everybody go to LA, everybody go to Miami type of thing. So that's really kind of cool to see from a league standpoint. I would like for some of those players to come here, but it's just from a league perspective, that's pretty sweet.
So, you know, it's interesting too. I wonder how much the pull from the World Cup is going to help do that too. Just like the experience, the areas where they trained in. I mean, listen, Holland seemed like he really enjoyed himself some Greensboro and Raleigh area. I don't know if you guys saw the one, like, just first of all, him discovering Snapchat and like posting himself with filters was hilarious. But then too, like going to the Hurricanes during the Stanley Cup run, enjoying that. I don't know if you saw today too, where he was getting off the plane in Norway and he has a stuffed raccoon that he got from the United States that's holding a bottle of like liquor. And he's like holding it in a mantle off the plane. Like, this is my prized possession from the United States, is a stuffed raccoon. Like, how cool is that, first of all? But then too, like, he's gonna be like, yeah, I could go back there in like 10 years and get a stuffed raccoon for my collection. You know, go hang out with Cookout and, you know, Bojangles. It's great.
I do honestly think that's a part of the World Cup that I didn't really think about, honestly, leading up to it. When we're talking about how the World Cup's going to impact MLS, I always thought about it from like a fan perspective of like, you get fans into soccer from the World Cup, and then MLS capitalizes on that fan interest and I don't know if they did that or not, honestly, but that's the idea, is that, you know, you drive people to go watch, you know, their local team or find MLS or whatever. But I didn't think about the opposite side of that, which I think Zoran talked about, which is what you're talking about, is like players come here and they're like, that was kind of fun. I like some of these places. I like these stadiums. I like the fans. Like, I like the energy, because, like, say what you will, but I mean, there's a lot of issues with the ticket prices and all the kind of things about getting to the stadium, but the atmosphere of these games have been really, really good, kind of all over the place. So I could see that as that part being like, it's not as hard to sell coming here to play when they're having those experiences and being in the places and kind of seeing the fans and all that kind of stuff. So that could be very interesting.
Agreed. Swift, anything else you want to add about Maxi or I guess this window?
No, just we'll wait to see what other moves that we make, comings and goings. Could be fun times this summer. We got some games coming up, and also Leagues Cup, by the way. That's
I forgot about Leagues
Are we
Cup.
really? Are we really? Wow. Yikes. We're gonna have so much soccer to talk about in the next
It's
3
it's
months.
a lot.
It's
That
It's a
is
lot.
so much.
That's kind of it's a little bit too much.
I mean,
It's like the
basically,
perfect storm, man. World Cup, Leagues Cup, All-Star game, regular season.
I'm sorry. I know they never would. We really should have taken a break from Leagues Cup this year. Like, I really think no one would have been that hurt if we said, except for the advertisers and the money.
Yeah, I think if they were going to take a break, this would have been the year to be like, all right, let's tone it down this year. We'll come back next year, but yeah, this would have been the year to do it.
So before we transition to World Cup and listener questions and stuff like that, I do have to I need to talk about Glizzy Night. I've just got to mention this.
Yep.
I'm so pumped for this. I haven't been to a game in a few months, but July 22nd, I don't know if you guys saw it. Is it Joey Chestnut, the hot dog guy, is going to be at the stadium, but they're doing $1 hot dogs and $5 beers. I am so dude, I'm going to be like double fisting hot dogs galore for this. I need this to be so successful that they make this into a thing. Because I don't know. Have you seen? I went to the Mets game, probably like 3 years ago when it was like $1 hot dog night, and we broke the. I say we as if like I contributed, but it wasn't my doing. The Mets broke the Guinness World Record with the most hot dogs sold in a venue ever in a thing, and they got a little, Tops Now card for it, whatever. But like, I need this to be a thing, and need this to be a successful run. So Swift, Corey, double fist some hot dogs, get some glizzies with me.
All right, I'm on it.
I can do that.
Swift. Corey's like, I'll get a dog and a $5 beer. That's all I need. So
no, I'll probably get more than one. I didn't even know about this. So I'm glad y'all told me about this. I'm very excited now.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I was completely missed this.
I would laugh hysterically if there was some kind of promotion where it's like random fans could challenge Joey Chestnut to a hot dog eating contest at the stadium. I would not do that, but
there's no way they don't cut to him during the game or halftime where he's not doing some bit about the hot dogs.
Yeah,
they have to, right?
I'm so pumped.
Yeah,
this is so exciting.
Do you think though that he's just like, I'm not eating a damn hot dog? Like I do this all the time,
right?
Like
it's like work.
Not like I'm
it's
not
the man's job.
Yeah, like what? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. This guy's got the stomach of like, I don't know. He's got to be able to do it. I don't know.
If they're paying him, he might do it, but he's not going to do it for free.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you got to pay for that experience.
I just love the state of AI right now, because I pulled this up just to make sure I got the correct date and everything like that. And Google's like, do you have any dietary restrictions for hot dog night we need to talk about? If so, ask away. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not.
If you're eating hot dogs, you're not concerned with dietary restrictions.
$1 hot dogs. $1 hot dogs.
Yeah.
So, but super pumped. So if you see me at the game on the 22nd, get a hot dog in my honor and help make this into a thing, because I need TSC to recognize that this is a big thing. So
let's make it happen for David.
No, let's not make this into a David thing, but let's make it happen.
We're gonna make it a David thing.
please don't. I don't need that to be what I'm known for.
Dogs for David. Dogs for David. Hashtag.
That's great.
Everybody make it a thing.
I'm done. I'm not gonna make this into a thing. Anyways.
Glizzies for Gussler.
Glizzies for Gussler.
I'm gonna write
that down. Write that one down.
I hate both of you guys right now, but that's okay. Awesome. So
I am pulling up Discord, and I'm going to put that in our chat right now.
I'm going to nuke the Discord right now. So awesome. So let's transition to World Cup, fellas. So since we are wearing U.S. men's and women's national team jerseys, I don't want to go into like games or anything particular, but I guess like what stood out to you guys so far in this World Cup? Like, what's been your favorite thing, your favorite moment? What's been something that's been exciting that stood out to you?
Hold on, I'm putting this in Discord real quick.
You really. Oh my god.
Okay, what was your question? All right.
So on the World Cup,
You're asking about the.
Yeah. So what was your what stood out to you in this World Cup? Like, what's been your favorite thing, your favorite moment, something special that stood out to you?
I'm glad that you're. I'm glad you're starting with the positives. No, I think this World Cup has been very entertaining. The games have been great. There's been a lot of scoring. I have had a lot of friends that don't watch soccer at all, very interested in the game, asking me tons of questions about the rules and what is extra time, what is, added time.
Why is there hydration breaks?
Why is there hydration
don't get
breaks?
me started on those.
Yeah. It's but I think too another great thing is you have people coming to our country who have maybe some preconceived notions, and they're getting here and they're having a great time. You mentioned Holland on social media, and I've seen all types of really awesome things from fans all over the world trying new foods. They're wearing cowboy hats and going to rodeos. They're going to baseball games. So that's really awesome to see. I got into soccer after the 94 World Cup. And so I think you're going to get a lot of kids that are interested in it. You're going to pull in some of those casual fans that are kind of like perking up. Maybe they follow their local lower level teams. Maybe they follow MLS now, or all the things, or Premier League teams, whatever. As long as they're getting into the sport, that's really, really cool. So that's been some of the very, I think, some positive stuff. But the games themselves, I think, has been very, very good.
Yeah. Two things I'll say off of that is, one, to Matt's point, if you have a friend who has started talking to you about soccer now who never cared about it before, bring them to a Charlotte FC match. Or whatever, Matt, like Ascent, Independence, whatever soccer match, but take them to a soccer match in person. Because I think that's how you create that fandom for people. Because they can watch Premier League and all that stuff, but I've seen people say this too. Like there's nothing quite like watching it in person. I think that's what kind of people who have never been to a match and get to see one, the energy and the fun around it and the chanting and the songs and everything. It's like, oh, this is really cool. Like once you see it in person, I think it really clicks. So if you have that friend, bring them to a match. There's 30 happening in the next month. So you can bring them to a match and have a good time there. So, but what I would also going to say is, to your point about the matches, I was curious about, when you expand a tournament, I always get a little bit nervous. If it's going to kind of mess up the quality and you got a lot of blowouts and all those kind of things. You talk about that with any kind of tournament, whether it be the college football or, college basketball, anything like that. And I was worried, when you get some of these really small teams, really small countries, things like that, there's a chance of getting absolutely destroyed. And I mean, there were some lopsided results, sure. But some of the stories that came out of that round of 32 and the group stage were so much fun, and just lots of really entertaining matches. A ton of late goals, a ton of stoppage time, penalties, upsets. I mean, it's been an absolute blast to watch. And I think because it's been so entertaining, I think that helps create soccer fans who maybe wouldn't have cared about the sport before. They're getting into it. They're seeing how much fun this is. And that's really cool. I mean, my oldest daughter has already been, she's been going to Charlotte FC games for a few years now. She has season tickets for the first time this year. But she usually doesn't watch random soccer at home with me, but she has been obsessed with the World Cup the whole time it's been on, asking when matches are happening and sitting down and watching with me. So that's the kind of thing that this can do, is kind of, spur that next generation of fans and people who haven't followed the sport before. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of experience that through other people.
Yeah.
I agree with everything that y'all said. I think, I mean, again, casuals, I've had people at work, I've had people in my family ask about it, watch games, try to get into it, whatever it is, trying to get the buzz out there for it. So that's been a lot of fun. To Swiss point, I think it's been pretty good for fans that traveled from overseas over here, and seems seeing that first week of social media where German fans are experiencing Buc-ee's for the first time, or Waffle House or Walmart, and just seeing
ranch dressing.
ranch stretch, like whatever. Like I don't know. That's awesome because it seems like it was like a fun time.
Yeah.
Games have been super competitive, kind of to your point, Corey. Some of the Cinderella stories, underdogs have been out there. I mean, I don't think anyone's gotten to the semifinals that's an underdog per se, but I think it's been an overall great World Cup, especially the last round or two. It's been, I don't want to say controversies, but there's been some stuff that's come up that's made the games interesting. It's made some PKs, some extra time minute games, some red cards, some rules changed, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's been, to me, a successful World Cup in the United States. To Swift's point, I remember '94. I remember when the Women's World Cup was here, and I don't know, like that really sparked some excitement for me when I was a kid. And then now you have this new generation here, and hopefully I don't have to wait 30 years again or whatever it is to have it back here again, because I didn't get a chance to go to the game, but I would have loved to be able to go check something out and been there in person, but been really happy with it.
Yeah.
So on that note, what stood out to you that's not been great?
Hydration breaks.
Yes.
I know we're going to talk about U.S. soccer, but like I know it's been ranted about a million times, so I'm not going to do it too long. The hydration breaks, the way they were done in the World Cup, are so just greedy is I guess the word I'll use. And it's so goofy. Because like we've had these for MLS for a few years now, because when you're playing in Charlotte in August, or Dallas outside
right,
in August, or Austin, or all those places, like you probably need to get some water. It's way too dang hot, and we're all outside in the sun. Like, let's get some water. And some of these venues, of course, were hot, and but like I started to lose my mind when I'm watching like a match inside in Atlanta.
Or I'm watching Dallas,
or I'm watching them play in Santa Clara and it's 72 degrees and beautiful in the Bay Area, because that's what the weather is like there in July. Like, what are we doing? That's it. That's all I'll say. And I know everybody's ranting about it too. And showing commercials, like that's the joy of soccer, or not the joy. One of the joys I think of soccer is that it's 45 minutes of continuous game is on.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're breaking up with ad breaks. And I'm like, once they do it once, I'm just waiting for it to become a staple.
It's going to be the World Cup in Antarctica, brought to you by with hydration breaks. I don't.
Yeah. But I mean, the calendar is shifting, so maybe I'm not as worried about it. But if we had the same calendar where we were playing all through the summer, I would not be surprised if MLS did the same thing where every match has a hydration break that's a commercial break. But
I wonder if they'll try it during Leagues Cup.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. Once they see that and they see how much money that Fox brought in for showing ads during that, it's coming. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That is
off my soapbox now.
You're good. Well, I do want to add one more positive thing. The amount of like viewers that the U.S. games have been brought in has been astronomically huge. Like, and I know it sucks that we got routed against Belgium and didn't proceed out of the round of 16, but like the viewership shows that like fans in the United States want U.S. soccer to excel and be a part of it, and it's growing. And it's like, can you imagine telling people in '94 that you had 41 million people watching a U.S. soccer match, and it being streamed on Fox 1, Fox Sports, Telemundo? All like, there's no way. People have been like, no, there's no way. Swift, what about you? Anything that's not been so great that stood out to you?
Yeah, no, the hydration breaks is pretty stupid. I know the first two games that they came back late from the breaks too.
Yeah,
and that the game was going on, and that they're coming. I mean, that's absurd. Other than that, there's just been, and we'll get into it definitely with the U.S. team, but there's been some weird VAR decisions and inconsistencies and messy
magical ropes across that deflect balls. And
there's just been, I think I talked to you guys, we were texting it. I felt like the refereeing in the early matches, the beginning, were really good, and I was like, oh man, and then it just got really bad. Like, there's just been some really bad refereeing towards the end of this tournament. Wildly inconsistent and bad.
Go ahead, Corey.
I was gonna say, what's been fascinating to me is how much they've been letting them play, especially early on. Like, I feel like there have been throughout this World Cup so many things that I just assumed were fouls, because whenever I've watched soccer, they've always been fouling. There's not calling them, and the players you had to adjust to be like, wait, we're not calling these anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
like, and I don't hate that that change. Like, it really, it's got to be
Almiron who has to cover his mouth and gets.
not the cover the mouth stuff, but I just feel like there's a lot of contact that wasn't called, especially early on, that I was like actually really okay with. Like, hey, that's good. You shouldn't be able to just like get bumped a little bit and fall down and it be a foul. Like, it's actually got to be something. There's a little bit of contact here.
Sorry, David, go ahead. You go ahead.
One thing I was just going to add, like, one thing I wish, and just on the referee part of this to it, like, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know this for a fact, but I almost feel like there should be, like, they should have the best in class referees doing this match versus like pulling them from other countries just to say that they've got them from other countries. So like, I'll use like the VAR conversations. You've got referees who aren't familiar with VAR in countries and leagues that don't use a VAR system being thrown into the World Cup and then being asked to use a VAR system. So it's almost like, I don't know. I'm not saying to like discredit those leagues and not have it because you have VAR, but almost feel like there needs to be a learning curve or at least some usage there or consistency from that. But go ahead, Swift.
I was just the one rule that I don't like, and I don't understand it, is this yellow card accumulation stuff. And it's like when you're in knockout rounds, it's like, oh, if you get a yellow card this game and that game, you miss the next one. I'm like, this is such an important game. And like, yellow cards are, referees can get crazy with yellow cards, and it could be for like talking. It could be for just a foul. Like, I think that is so dumb. And then you run the risk of missing some of your best players in later games. I wish we would maybe rethink that. I do understand like getting a yellow card every single game that like gets out of hand. But I mean, come on. It's like,
can you imagine if Zaha played in the World Cup? He would play in one game and then be suspended the rest of the World Cup, probably.
I just think it's silly. I don't like the rule. And I wish they would do away with that.
So let's just talk briefly about US. I mean, I know this is not a US men's soccer team podcast, but I guess like overall arching theme here, there was a lot of discourse with this US team leading up to the World Cup. A lot of like, is the coach the right coach? Is it the right culture fit? Is Pulisic going to be any good? Like, who's our starting? Like, there was just a lot of noise. And then I feel like group stage, they did, I don't want to say they exceeded expectations by the first two wins, but then hype and buzz started happening. So I guess like, were you impressed with the way the US did? Because we kind of like went out in the round that everyone kind of expected us to be going out of. So, I mean, like, was this a successful World Cup for you? Do they live up to expectations for you? How are you feeling, Swift?
I feel like this could be like another 2 hours of me talking about this. I want to say something real quick though, and then we can kind of track back. If you've ever been on social media after a Charlotte FC loss and be like, man, this is toxic, this is wild, multiply that by like 1,000 and you have USA Soccer social media.
I'm so glad I'm not on social media anymore.
Specifically Twitter. U.S. men's national team Twitter had an epic meltdown for like 72 hours straight because it was like the Balogun red card situation and then the game itself. So you had the red card situation, the game itself. Then you always have the same scenario. You've got the MLS sucks people talking about, hey, well, just because we had MLS players on our roster, I'm like, there were eight MLS guys on our roster. 3 of them are goalkeepers. So let's pump the brakes there. But you have the MLS sucks people. And then the pro rel people, they have been waiting. This is like their Super Bowl. Like when the US loses, they're like, if we had pro rel, US would be awesome. They come out of the woodwork like cockroaches. Like, it is insane.
Wait, not to go down.
What does pro rel have to do with anything? with the like, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. Nobody. No, like if we had pro rel, U.S. soccer would be the best.
It'd be a real soccer country.
So you have So you have the pro rel people who are occult unhinged. I'm sorry. I know that's a hot take. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so you have that, but then you also have the pay to play folks that come out and we're like, hey, it's all pay to play, which I actually agree with a lot of that stuff. So you have this huge mess of people talking about how awful the U.S. is. And there were a lot of people saying, Corey, what you kind of mentioned earlier, like this is an unsuccessful World Cup. People are going to look at our loss against Belgium and not want to play. They're going to be embarrassed by this. And you got morons like Alexi Lalas talking about how pay to play is great and Pochettino needs to leave. Basically, anything that Alexi Lalas says, you should probably do the opposite. That's just a good thing to live by. But it was a nightmare to watch.
I was going to say one of the highlights that we didn't talk about was watching Alexi get just roasted by Thierry Henry and Zlatan. On the panel was like just the joy every time it happened.
Zlatan
just
was hilarious,
pure joy,
by the way. Yeah. So I just love to. So again, in this, I know we're bouncing back and forth, but that was also my favorite thing of the World Cup was that non-soccer people discovering Zlatan and finding out who he is and what he's about. And I'm at dinner and I'm talking to some folks about who Zlatan is. And I'm like, I need you to just Google Zlatan quotes and just read them to yourself. And then just tell me how you feel about the guy. And I was talking to two friends of mine and just reading these two and they're like, I don't know who this guy is, but I love it. But then what was it? During the group stages, it was like Zlatan's top 10 player rankings from today's games. And he kept the number one player every single game, Zlatan, because no one's better than Zlatan. Like that is top tier, just amazing. So like I need Zlatan. Can Zlatan do college football? Can you imagine? Like, oh, the kickers miss all these field goals. Zlatan would make every single field goal. Like this is.
Yeah, he's been great, and I'm Henry is like one of my favorite players of all time, and I think he could come across as a little arrogant, but he doesn't suffer fools, and he's got a big one over on the other side of the desk there. So I'm sure that's tough. And Rebecca Lowe is class act. I love her.
The best.
She's great with anything that she does. So that's a really good call out. That's been really good to watch. And kind of to answer your question before I went into the Twitter melting down for 72 hours. I was really excited how the U.S. was playing. They were playing with energy and determination and just getting after the ball. They were winning the second ball. If they turned it over, they immediately got it back. They were running all over the field, moving off the ball. It was breathtaking. And I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen us play quite this well. You play whoever's in front of you. But the thing is, we were kicking the shit out of those teams. It wasn't like, oh, we won. Yeah, you expect to win when we won. No, like we were kicking the crap out of these teams. And we had some adversity in the first knockout stage with the red card, but persevered and came back. And like I was really excited. I thought everybody was playing well. We lost to Turkey, but that was kind of a throwaway game.
Yeah.
And then you get to Belgium, and there was some things that happened before that with the red card and a lot of controversy there. And I know you guys are not really on Twitter, but people were really bad mouthing the U.S. and how it was cheating and how awful we are. And so many people were like, well, I was cheering for the U.S., but now I'm not gonna. I'm like, oh my God. So it was bad. And, we got our butt kicked. And that's because literally no one on our team played well.
No.
It was like the perfect storm. Like literally every single player who could have a possibly bad game had a horrifically bad game. How does that even happen?
Sergio Dest from the very get-go was horrible. He gets subbed out. Christian Pulisic in the first 3-4 possessions, he gets dispossessed. I'm like, oh, but this is not great. And we weren't hustling. We weren't winning that second ball. Tim Ream has his worst game of the tournament. Matt Freeze, his brain freezes.
Dude, so bad. that moment was so
just,
bad.
I mean, and then Pulisic gets hurt. It was just not meant to be. If we win that game, I say World Cup for US is successful. We're good. But there's kind of that question mark now of we got to that stage and got our butts kicked against a pretty decent Belgium squad, but they're not world beaters. I mean, I felt like we could have beat Belgium and we didn't. So that's a real kind of black eye. And the way, I think it's just the way we lost too. But like, no one played good. Nobody. It was so unbelievably kind of out of character of what we've seen from the previous games.
The way we lost is what I was going to touch on. I think, because I totally agree with everything you said. I had never seen a U.S. men's team play the way they played in the group stage. I mean, the attacking, the moving, the passing, the aggression, the pressing, like it was like, this is unreal. This is amazing. I know the competition was not the same, but like, it doesn't matter. They were playing in a way that was just very confident, and
we historically played down to our opponent. So that was the difference, was that we were like, hey, we were supposed to beat Australia. We were like Portugal. We should have been able to beat Portugal, and we beat those teams versus
Paraguay.
Portugal. Jesus, yeah. I'm in peak season form right now. But like we've historically played down to our opponents, and especially in like these group stages, and we've eked out of the group stage before, and it's like this is the one time where we're like, dude, we've won the first two games, and we can finally we can take the foot off the gas, rotate some players, get some minutes here against Turkey, and that here we are, But,
And I think so. Having said all that, I think if we get to Belgium, and even if we lose, but we play competitively and play well, and just get beat by a goal in extra time or something, I don't know, like it's a very tight match that is well played by both sides, because Belgium, again, it's not like their golden era right now, but like there's no slouches on that Belgium team. I think I feel very differently even if we lose in that round. But the fact that we played as poorly as we did all over the field, especially after how well things had gone before that to me was a disappointment, is how they lost and how they went out. Not the fact that they lost necessarily.
You think Poach is back next time or no? Next cycle?
It's such a long cycle. It's hard to know.
There was some rumors where he was getting offers elsewhere, and he was kind of taking some interviews and everything like that. And so that was kind of some controversy before the World Cup. And there was a lot of negativity kind of around this team because we hadn't been playing well, but we played at Bank of America against Senegal, looked pretty good. And so I think that kind of helped us a little bit. But if you're on Twitter, you should see what's being said about the coach, and you should see what's being said about this team. And there was a little part of me, just from a sports story wise, when Belligan got the red card and that got rescinded and he was able to play, there was a little part of me, I'm like, we're not going to win. That's just how stories work, and just how much venom there was around that on social media about us cheating and everything like that. And I have some thoughts about that, but I won't go into all that. But there was a little part of me, I'm like, man, this is not good.
This is too much distraction. Yeah.
Too much narrative.
Yeah. My favorite take as a joke on the cheating idea of this all was that, again, now we're a real proper soccer country now. If we got politicians pulling strings to get players back to play.
And we all were like super shocked by the red card, and they didn't follow proper procedures for that, right? And then it gets reversed. But Henri, who I really like, I think he said it best. He goes, the red card was bad and shouldn't have been. The reversal was also bad.
Yeah.
The timing of it, and he said this too. The timing of it. They waited a couple days, and then if they would have done it like after the game or the very next day, I think I would have been okay with it. But the fact that it was like the day before the game or the day of the,
it was also just the nonsense of like, it's it's rescinded, but he's on
Right.
probation, but like not
Right.
on probation, and it's not technically gone away, but it is, and it's just like this I don't
Double
know.
secret
It was-
probation.
And the greatest part about the Lexi Lawless Henri Zlatan thing is, Henri's talking about the red card, and he's like, Balogun, and he's going through what I just said, like it shouldn't have been a red card. And Lexi Lawless is like, well, what about Cristiano Ronaldo? He shouldn't have been able to play. And Henri's like, I'm not talking about Ronaldo. We're talking about the U.S. team and talking about Balogun. And Lexi's like, well, what if he was able to play? And Henri was like, I already told you. You could talk about Ronaldo. I'm talking about this. Like, and it, Alexi is technically right. Like, Ronaldo was allowed to play when he probably shouldn't have been. But Henri's like, I hear you, redheaded moron. I'm talking about, I really don't like Alexi Lawless, especially after this World Cup. Like, I think I kind of tolerated him, but like, I just kick him to the moon. Like, I can't. He's like the Jerry Springer of soccer.
Put Clint in his space, then you'll be fine. Put Clint Dempsey in that spot, it'll be fine.
But yeah, that's been the negative. But I tell you what, the positives have vastly outweighed the negatives, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And to that note, the last thing I want to say is that I really, to your point about how people had a lot of bad thoughts on this team coming into the tournament, I really enjoyed watching this team and the coach. Like, once you got to see them playing and, singing Country Roads after the end of the Bosnia match. I mean, it's just like, I think this team up until the last match they were fun. They played for each other. Like, they were, the coach as well. Like, it was a very good energy, I feel like, around this team. Mm-hmm. And if nothing else, I hope we can at least build off of that into coming, World Cups, because I really enjoyed watching this team play and the way they played, and kind of the energy around the team. So that was definitely, again, the last game mars it so much. But if I go back and watch the end of the Bosnia match, it's like, oh, this is a fun team. I enjoy this.
Agreed.
Just don't, you keep that thought, Corey. Just don't go on Twitter, because
I'm so glad I'm not on that.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I was like reading all, I was like, this can't be real life. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, like the Pro Rel people, the MLS Sucks people, full form. Jermaine Jones, who's an ex, scorched earth on everybody. U.S. soccer's horrible. Everybody in charge needs to be fired. It's not the coach. It's not Christian Pulisic, because Pulisic's getting a lot of criticism too because of the injury. And there was some, Carly Lloyd was like, you get, because Christian's like, now that we're done, I could take a break. And she fired off a look. Well, yeah, you took a break, for the Gold Cup and all this other stuff. And come to find out, he like broke his, has a fracture. And like, I'm like, sometimes, and I'm bad about this too. Sometimes you got to take a beat and just let 24 hours go by before you make a comment.
Type and then it in drafts and save it. And then next day, if you still feel like it, you can go ahead and post it.
And she doubled down. She doubled down on it. She was just like, yeah, I'm not apologizing. I wasn't talking about just this game. I'm like, yes, you kind of were, because it was literally, you pulled a clip of him saying he's going to take a break. And then you fired off saying, oh, you've already taken a break, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's a cesspool right now, but don't let that don't let that bring it down.
Proper footballing country is what you're telling me. Is what that right. So, no, I'm just joking. So, cool. Well, I'm sure we'll still talk about this a little bit in upcoming episodes, especially as we get closer to the final. But I guess we're just put you on the spot here real quick. Who do you want to win the next set of games?
Anybody but Argentina.
Agreed.
I'm going.
I don't want France to win either, but I'm
okay with them.
I think
I'd rather them win
France
versus Argentina, but
I can't have.
I want England to win.
France has been so much fun to watch. Like that, the way France plays, I mean, it's beautiful. So I want them to win it all.
Yeah.
I want France and England. I want them to. I want that to be the final, and then.
That'd be fun.
I want England to. It's coming home.
Oh my God, that right there is one of the reasons why I don't want it to win. You can't have England winning on U.S. soil like that. I'm going.
They've taken enough losses on U.S. soil. It's fine.
That's true. That's true.
Just one more.
Just one more.
One more.
I just want Chancey to be happy. That's all I want. I just want him to have a moment.
He went to at least one or two games.
Yeah. He went to two.
With his dad. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Saw Ryan Bailey there in Atlanta too, like on social media. So like, I want those guys to enjoy it. Because I would hope that they would do the same for us if we advanced, and but I don't know. I want those guys to win. So
yeah.
Sweet. Well, Corey, we don't have too many questions. We haven't had any games, but do we have any listener questions we want to pull up or anything?
Yeah, I'll pull up a couple. Let's see. I might save some of these because I feel like what we almost need to do before I'm going to put us on the spot here. I feel like before next week, the match on Wednesday, right? Because this next Wednesday is the first match back, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I honestly, partially because I kind of need this, like, can we just like have a recap of like what the hell happened in the first half of the season? Because I don't remember. Like,
let's do it.
It's too far ago. So there's some questions here that I feel like are talking about kind of table and positioning and stuff like that. I might save those, and we can talk about them next time when we're kind of like our,
do we play
the
already?
season.
We had a first half of the season. Like what?
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's on a new season now.
Off the top of your head, do you know what place we're in the East?
Shit. Like 6th.
Matt does. Oh yeah, you're 6th. You're right.
Yeah.
We're 6th.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So maybe it's just me who's just completely gone.
That was just a shot.
When something has gone that long, like it is just out of my brain. So I feel like we need to do just like let's reset the table of where things are and what's coming up.
My wife asked me legit when I told her I was recording this episode tonight. She's like, "Is there a new season? Have you guys is there anything going on? You haven't done it?" I was like, "I know. Don't worry."
Yeah,
trust me, I know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for the couple of Russell ones. So we'll start here from Russell Varner. Do you believe the Zaha move was a positive one for the club overall? Matt, you're nodding. I'll let you go first.
I'm assuming his departure. Yeah, we touched on it. Like, I think it was good business. If you could maybe make a deal.
I would.
Oh.
Well,
how are you interpreting the question?
I interpret it differently. So I think you're right, because that's what and maybe this is what he meant. So I'm going to ask it the way I'm interpreting it. Like, do you think? I would say, like, do you think the Zaha era? Bringing him in. That's the way I read it, at least.
Okay, yeah.
Like bringing him in, having him be part of this team. Like, was it overall positive having him here, or no?
I think so. It was a big name. It got a lot of attention. I thought he had some pretty great moments. I think some of that was overshadowed by the yellow cards and the antics, but I was ready for that. I don't think maybe some other fans were so much. I would like to see a little more. There was like one or two games where I was really disappointed in him, but those things can happen. But yeah, I think it was a good kind of stepping stone to maybe something more positive. And it was alone, right? We're not fully attached to someone where it gets drug out and everything. So I would say, yeah.
David, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I agree. I think if you look at it in a vacuum, we made it the furthest we've ever made in the playoffs. He sold the most kits in team history for that time frame. Brought a lot of eyes to it. We had a freaking banner behind us doing a live show. It's Wilfred Zaha, dude. Like, it's like there was a lot of buzz for that. Yeah, sticker. There you go. But like, so I think in a vacuum, yes, I think it was a successful thing. I would arguably say it was probably our biggest name player we've ever signed in terms of like overseas international fandom awareness and names. So like, yeah, and he played decent. It wasn't like he's Liel over there, like, not even starting as a DP. Like, he contributed. So I think it was a net positive for us. I don't think it was anything that was bad per se.
Yeah, I agree with you. The reason I read it like that maybe is I think there's going to be a solid contingent of people who believe that it was a waste to bring him here. And so that's the way I looked at it. I agree with you. I'm not going to make that counter argument, but I do think there are some people who never liked him, never thought he did enough, thought he was a, kind of busted move like some other ones we've had in the past. And I don't think that's the case, but he just is one of those polarizing players where depending on who you talk to, they're going to have very different feelings about the Zaha era of Charlotte FC.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm just going to do these two Russell questions. And then we're going to save some of these other ones because someone else in our Discord, Savannah, also said the same thing I did, that they've completely forgot what happened in the first half of the year. So I think next week, recap episode of the first half and look into the second half. So I'm going to save some of these questions. So Russell's other question was, now that they are / possibly will be gone, what are your favorite memories of Zaha and Vargas? And his follow-up question is, what are their legacies? Ooh. So do you have any legacies? Is a much harder one to answer. So if you have something there, I'll let you do it. But do you have any favorite memories of Vargas and or Zaha that stick out in your mind?
I think, there was, I'm blanking on the game. I think there was a last minute winner. I think that was at home. I want to say his first goal was pretty great because that came pretty early. I don't know if I have one that just jumps off the top like, oh yeah, that was amazing moment in club history type of thing. I think he had some like individual moments of brilliance. Vargas legacy, I mean, he's got a bobblehead. Showed that off earlier. His celebration.
I heard if you pinch it. I heard if you pinch it, it flips it. For those who aren't watching on YouTube or Spotify, it doesn't work. So sorry.
No.
I don't know where I got that.
Were you thinking about one of those like little toys with like the spinny thing on it? Yes, where you
that's
squeeze
what I
it
thought.
and it goes up and down?
Yes, that's what I thought it was like. I don't know.
Just a note to the team. That would have been really cool if you could squeeze it and
squeeze it.
Just
and
throwing it out there.
Like
I got excited when you said it until you said that you didn't have one and we're making it up. But it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Hire me, Tepper. It's fine. I'm just playing. So, I think I'm with Swift. I mean, there's not any, and I guess this kind of goes back to your question earlier about like, was this successful? Like, was there anything that stood out to me that was like the defining Wilfred Zaha moment? Like, no, but like, I guess like for me, like, I hate to say like yellow card accumulation is something that stands out for him, but also like, I mean, listen, he was the most fouled player in MLS even for us. You know what I mean? So like that transferred from Premier League to even here, and he was still successful, I think, in that space. So I think that does cement like Wilfred Zaha still being a great player, navigating that, and still he was the most foul player even with some of these calls that were not called as fouls. So I think Vargas, just the biggest thing that stood out to me was just like the backflips. Just whenever he scores, it's always fun. Like he always gets excited. Yeah. He wants to win. So I still remember to this day, and I remember chuckling at this, was I think we signed him year one, right? And it was kind of a under the radar, middle of the season kind of like signing. And I remember, again, this was when I was on Twitter, and I'm so glad I'm not on that place anymore. People like, I think it was like, God, it was either like when Miguel was like losing a bunch of games or Christian Latanzio stepped in and we just like, vibes were bad. And people are like, who the hell is this guy? Why are we signing this guy? Maybe we should score some goals instead of signing guys we never heard of. And yet here we are. And now people are going to be like, yeah, we're kind of sad this guy's leaving. You know what I mean? And he has a bobblehead and David makes things up about flipping him upside down, So like, it's just, I kind of go back to your point, Swift. Don't just spout out the mouth. Think first, let it sit on it for a minute, and then enjoy it. So
I'm gonna try to do that in the second half of this season. Just gonna sit on some of the on these hot takes.
I think we've all been guilty at times of doing that.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
But with Vargas too, what was really cool to see was that he was really bad at shooting. Like he was
really bad.
He would like sky the ball like nonstop, and there was the step overs. But then I feel like he just really came into his own and was getting better and getting the ball in frame and making things happen. He's just an exciting player to watch. So I could see why they scouted him and want him on the team. And now we're at a spot where it's like, damn, we're going to lose Vargas. It's like one of those things. So it's kind of a cool progression for him.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is what I remember about him is like that growth of being like, yeah, just like flashy, young, raw, shows promise, but doesn't really have a lot going. But would make these like beautiful top corner shots from outside the box. He made like 2 of those in a row. I feel like early on, and then started skying everything into like the 30th row for a while there. And we started giving him a hard time about that. But then, yeah, like at a certain point, it just all of a sudden kind of clicked for him. And he was just like the hands down starter on that side of the field for us in the wing. And it was just like, yeah, we got to have Vargas up there. Like that's where we should be. That's who should be playing. Like it just made sense to everyone. And so it's been kind of fun to see him grow and be a contributor in that way. And yeah, to the point where now other teams are coming calling and wanting to throw some money at him to get him over there. So I think it's great for him. And I hate to see, if we do end up losing him, I hate to see it, but yeah, it's just been fun to see him grow.
For sure.
All right. I'm going to save the rest if I remember to come back to him. But I will say to people, if you are in the Discord, start throwing in some kind of first half recap, looking at the second half of the season type questions, because we're going to focus on that next week. I'm just forcing that to happen. And then if you're not in the Discord, you can join it by throwing us a few bucks on Patreon. It's patreon.com/Mint City Soccer Show. Maybe just Google Mint City Soccer Show. Go to our website. It's got links on there, wherever you want to find it. You can support the show, also get access to the Discord, other fun things like that. So definitely check that out. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we head out?
We did miss one major topic, but I know we're going really long, and we can save it for next week, and that's MLS All-Stars.
We did miss All-Stars. Let's save All-Stars.
We'll save that for next week.
That'll be good timing. We can do it ahead of the All-Star week. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
All right. So we got a full show already packed, ready to go for next week. So sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Guys, it was good to be back. Get back on a regular schedule as the season starts to crank back up. Hopefully talk about a really fun second half of the season here for Charlotte FC. But until then, we'll see y'all next time.
See ya.
See ya.